The Prison City Podcast will be starting shortly. Please take a moment to acknowledge the following sponsors of the Prison City Podcast, the best podcast on planet Earth. Prison Pizza. Come on down for the best pizza you've ever had in your entire fucking life. Every pizza has been made perfectly every single time, has been delivered in perfect time, and it has the perfect price point with the perfect amount of toppings and the perfect amount of sauce. There's never ever been a single pizza in the history of Prison Pizza that's not anything short of fucking perfect. Come on down to Prison Pizza, check out our salad bar too, and 406-846-4800 Prison Pizza for life. Fuck you. The Adventures of Pete and Kit, folks, is now available on YouTube for free. It's the all-time, old-fashioned classic about two brothers living in northern Idaho that just get into all kinds of fun and trouble. Tons of fun. It was written by Matthew and Kelly Cutler, official members of Prison Pit. Fuck me. And Patrick Cutler edited and produced it. The Adventures of Pete and Kit. More fucks and F words than you can imagine. Just search The Adventures of Pete and Kit on youtube.com or look up the Cutler Brothers Production YouTube page and find The Adventures of Pete and Kit there. It's really, really fucking funny. Das Fruit Improv Comedy, possibly the best and funniest improv comedy team on planet Earth, is looking for new bookings for the 2022 season. Go to dasfruit.com if you want to book the funniest fucking improv team on motherfucking planet Earth. Das Fruit. If it's not funny, then at least you'll get offended. What are we looking at here, Bob? Oh, nothing, Pete. Just the best fucking pizza you'll ever have in your entire fucking life. Prison Pizza, 406, 4 something something. I don't fucking care. Prison Pizza. Hi, I'm the local dentist here in Deer Lodge, Montana. There's a dick on my face, isn't there? Fuck Pat Cutler, he's nothing but a sexist piece of shit. Fuck that guy. Mad Dad, the family-friendly comedy that everyone sits around every Easter and watches. It was originally written by Kelly Cutler, directed and edited by Patrick Cutler, and stars Matthew Cutler, Martin Reinbold, who just got out of prison, and a couple other people. Mad Dad, a good old family-friendly comedy that can now be found on Amazon Prime. Search Mad Dad and you'll just laugh your fucking balls off. And also stars Prison City Podcast member Mahomes, who currently lives in Omaha, Nebraska. So let's go Cornhuskers, yeah! Ladies out there, I now present you a picture of God himself. Say one more fucking thing about Prison Pizza, and let's see what happens.
I mean, I understand there's no good segue from what he just said.
Just be professional, text me back. Whenever I message you, show me your tits.
Once again, there it goes.
This disease or that disease or aliens coming down and taking over.
No shit.
I got hot milk in my area wanting to bang.
Sexual experience.
You don't know Pat well enough. I can see how someone might be like, fuck this guy. Why is he saying that to me?
Oh no, she's out.
Gee, what the fuck?
But we are certainly not back on track.
No, you guys were acting like you couldn't hear a word I was saying.
He told me I shouldn't park in a handicapped spot, and that was his response.
Oh, then I think maybe I can't with you, man. You can't tell me that you're all pissed at someone when you hit him with that stuff.
And this all happened in 10 minutes? No wonder she got offended.
Did you just yes and that shit? Yes and?
They're so fucking worthless.
Welcome to the Prison City Podcast. When the bars go up, you're officially locked in.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Prison City Podcast. We are officially back here live for another show. Unfortunately, we got a crazy-ass show this week, and it is going to be absolutely fucking nuts. I tell you that. A lot of different topics we're going to talk about tonight. Redgate film is going fucking bananas right now, so I'll just announce on air right now. This has not been announced to anywhere right now so far. Redgate just won another award at the Rome International Movie Awards. We just won Best Feature Film there. We also just got into this morning the Fourth Dimension Independent Film Festival, so that's exciting. And we're currently a semifinalist in the Hollywood Golden Age Film Festival out of New York, and that is just the recent news of the festival news with the Redgate film, the biggest fucking horror film in history about UFOs, aliens, true stories, murders, everything you can imagine in one fucking film. It's a documentary, found footage, horror film, crazy ass shit. And without further ado, Mahomes, welcome to the show.
Good to be on, man. Good to be on. And so is this Rome like the huge Rome, or is this Rome like Rome, Georgia?
This is Rome in Italy.
Oh, B. I mean, I was going to be impressed if it was Rome, Georgia. So I'm even more impressed now. Man, I don't want to say it again, but every time when we do that opening, when you say more fucks and F words, that for whatever reason, that just tickles my funny bone, because you say fuck like 100 times and then you censor yourself, and that's never not going to be funny to me.
Yeah, it's back to Redgate. It's Rome International Movie Awards out of Rome, Italy, and I'll have to get some more information. They screened their films and stuff down there if you get to a certain level and things of that nature. So that's kind of cool. Matt, welcome to the show. It sounds like your tech issues aren't too bad so far.
Just show you. Hey, I'm aware I look like Frank Stope right now with my new headset and my glasses and beard, redneck at Deer Lodge. But besides that, Pat, you say let's have a crazy ass show. Can we just once this week, or at least once, have a normal ass show, like normal? Just sit around and talk about normal stuff. Thank you.
Sure, we can try doing that. You know, when my fucking grandpa rolls over in his fucking grave, we can do that.
Fair enough.
Kelly, welcome to the show here, sir. How are you doing tonight?
Yep, excited to be here once again. For what we've been doing this over a year now, I wouldn't rather be any other place. You know, definitely not hanging out with my family, but I'd rather be here telling dick jokes and poo-poo jokes with my best friends in the world. When Pat said Redgate is going, I thought he was going to say going nowhere. And then it got me thinking maybe our first film, Going Nowhere, actually went nowhere because we called it Going Nowhere. Maybe we should have rethought the title of that, because you get what you ask for. So
maybe let's just retitle it and re-release it and act like it's brand new.
You know what I'd like to title it tonight, Mark? Big boobs in my face, because that's what I want to happen.
Okay. Yeah, certainly. That's the kind of stuff that you were just talking about, how you miss your family. Like, those are the kind of sentences a family man would definitely say.
I didn't mention family.
Yeah, I think after that Detroit film festival I went to with Redgate, I'm telling you right now, Going Nowhere would smoke a lot of those movies down there. And,
yeah, some people said that's our best movie we've ever done, was Going Nowhere. Like the best script and everything.
The script is the best. Probably.
Yeah, it's crazy because even at the LA Comedy Festival as well, watching some of those movies, I think we made that comment like, man, Mad Dad would have like done well down here. I mean, like Pat said, those festivals are all kind of rigged, you know. You have a B-name star that, you know, was in fucking Terminator 2, you know, in the coffee shop scene or whatever, then they're automatically going to win the festival. But honestly, Mad Dad, any of our movies would have done well in LA, and I'm sure it's the same, like Pat just said, in Detroit.
Yeah, and all fairness to Kelly's point there, I wouldn't call John Hurd, the dad off of Home Alone, to be some small-time actor. And you know.
I was trying to loop around that name.
Yeah. So how did you get into Rome, man? Like, is that something are you just like actively searching and you input, and then I guess how does that whole process go? I'm like fairly unfamiliar.
When you start getting into like film festivals and stuff, they start reaching out to you a lot. A lot of them reach out to you, and a lot of them are online and they screen them down there. So it's like, if you want someone to do like U.S. films and stuff in your circuit, a lot of people aren't going to just fly down there with their filmware. So it was like, but I talked to them along with a lot of other people, and I was like, okay, well, I'll go down and I'll not go down to Rome, but I'll submit to your festival and just see what happens or whatever. So yeah, we got in, and then I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and then we just won Best Folding Feature Film today in that festival, which is really fucking cool. Yeah, so it's another award again. You know, I don't know how big these festivals are, or whatever, that we're winning, but I just know that we're fucking winning and we continue to win. And
You're winning.
yeah,
I mean,
so
that's really all that matters, right? Shit, it doesn't matter if it's only 3 movies, you're winning. You know, and I mean, it's not like Rome's going to put on a film festival where there's like, all right, it's so we're going to do Redgate and then Blue's Clues, the full-length feature. You know, like they're going to have a ton of other stuff.
And the funny thing is, as this is our second one, this is our second one at a normal festival where we didn't win like best horror film or something. We won like best feature film. It's our second or third one. We won best feature film, which is pretty fucking cool.
As I say, isn't that like the top of the, you know, the top of what you want to win, best feature?
Yeah. And again, we won best kill in Detroit because I'm not gonna lie, the Detroit Motor City Film Festival is really fucking cool. It's a lot of fun. But based on the films I saw there for best kill, it's Redgate hands down won best kill by a large margin. And I felt like they didn't have any choice. They wanted to spread the awards out. I think they didn't have any choice but to give us best kill, and they just couldn't give us every single award at that festival, unfortunately.
So did they tell you, like, for this Rome one, or like, I mean, you were there for that festival, but all these other awards, did they tell you like, hey, you're a finalist, or you just get like some sort of email like, hey, you just won?
So some of them you get the you've been selected, and then they tell you later on like if you won or not. And these other ones are like you're a semi-finalist or you're a finalist, and all these different, like Monster Flicks we were a finalist for, which is a pretty big festival online. The Monster Flicks one had badass logos and stuff. That was a really cool one that we were a finalist for. And then yeah, they kind of update you with that, but then they don't. I don't think they do anything further. So if you won something, they end up updating you with that one. But the Rome one, it was kind of like, you know, you've been selected, then you know they made their decision, you know, a week later, a couple days later, or whatever, for who actually won and stuff.
That's cool.
Is there any like cash prizes associated with any of these, or it's just basically like, hey, now you get to say you won like best kill or best picture?
There are cash prizes available with some of these. It's just we haven't won any of the cash prize ones so far, but there are one like the Motor City. The guy that won the cash prize Motor City Film Festival. Yeah, I was like, gosh, well, geez, I would turn my best kill in for best feature if I knew I got like $1,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
no shit.
Yeah, he got handed like some kind of card or something for winning, but it was funny. It was funny though, like the Detroit one. It was weird because like, man, like most of these films are not fucking horror movies. They're just not. The feature film that won it, although it was well done to a certain extent. Certain scenes are still kind of like okay.
Yeah, just like L.A. was a bunch of none of them were comedies either.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Besides Cotwood City.
Yeah, the one that won it was like a drama thriller, and the guy goes kidnaps a lady, and at the end, the lady kills him. I was like, that's not a fucking horror movie. It's like, but the guy had connections to the festival. He had a booth set up and all this shit. So, again, that's what it goes down to. It's like, okay.
Well, let's be honest, Pat. If we throw a film festival in Deer Lodge, we're probably going to win it.
I would hope so. You throw the festival on that movie, Gary, you guys wouldn't stop talking about ends up winning somehow?
Well, that's funny, though. We were thinking about doing that for a while. It would have been in March, actually, that I was planning on doing it. But then I was like, fuck, I'll just win a bunch of other festivals instead. No.
Keep on winning, baby.
Keep on winning, baby.
Just
Pat,
like keep on moosing.
Speaking of films, Pat, I don't think it's too early to announce what we're doing over Easter for our fan base out there.
Here, let me pull up a shot of it really quick here.
Mahoney said he didn't want a copy. I read in the chat earlier today. That is incorrect. And I saw on Facebook I actually initially saw it from the Rialto posted it, and then I saw Pat shared it.
Yeah, here's the official post. I see 7 of the trashes took themselves out.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it didn't. It honestly took longer than I thought.
Hey, Mahoney next is going to be and straight white men. Or old white men. I can't remember what he said.
Dead white men.
Dead white men.
Dead white men. Straight white men. She looks right at him.
Yeah.
Dead white men. All right, here we go. I'll share it here now. Just a second.
All right, let's see if the gag continues or if it's really it.
You know, Pat.
I know. Like, I kind of want the bit to go on like three more times.
There you go. Oops. No. Oh, yeah, there it is.
That's
It's
cool.
Jesus Christ Superstar 2020. We've been working on this for a long fucking time. Kelly can talk about that. You know, I mean, this has been a long time, 2 years. And I was honestly gonna do the entire episode on this night, but I just did not have enough time to prepare like the videos and shit to make it like worth it to like do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I figured we talk about it briefly just as a topic of conversation because we're finally premiering this over Easter weekend in Deer Lodge at the Rialto Theater, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We started this for anybody that cares about this project in 2020, and we all know what happened in 2020, but we started talking about it, and we were just going to do a concert. It started as a concert. We were going to jump up on stage at the Rialto because the music's so fantastic in the show, and we were just going to play it. And then we're like, let's do a couple of effects, and then all of a sudden, okay, let's do some dancing. Essentially, it started to turn into the full-fledged play, and we did about, I don't know, probably at least 7 rehearsals, wouldn't you say, Matt?
Yeah, I don't know, roughly before literally the cops came in and shut us down.
That guy, how big a part did he play in it?
He's clearly Judas in real life, not in the movie, but
Sound like he had a big at St. Patrick's Day, right, Mahomes?
Yeah. I don't remember that part in Jesus Christ Superstar, the story, but I'm excited to see that adaptation where you guys work that in.
No, so start out. This is a crazy ass fucking story. So I was coming home to see my kids. I was in Alaska, really way up there, like fucking like almost 3,000 miles away from Montana. I was coming home to see my kids over spring break, and Kelly had asked me to play King Herod in Jesus Christ Superstar because it was over Easter weekend, and I had work days off. I could take time off to come down, but like I had a spring break coming up in March. I was like, God, I don't want to spend a week, 10 days up here by myself. I could be down in Montana seeing my actual kids over spring break. So I said, hell with it. I'm not going to play Herod, but I'll come down and hang out during rehearsals for like a week in March during spring break. Well, turns out I come down and COVID hits. So I'm on my way down and I'm hearing all this sports are canceled. I think I landed like in fucking Seattle, and that was when they announced that like the NCAA tournament was canceled. I was like, holy fuck, this is getting crazy. So I started wondering, I was like, man, am I going to be able to get back up to Alaska? And I was still in my head, it was kind of a joke, the idea that I would be able to get back to Alaska. I was kind of just playing around with the idea. So I went to rehearsal for Jesus Christ Superstar for this first week just for fun, just to check it out. And Kelly even had me there to just kind of announce, well, Pat's going to play King Herod. If something happens with COVID or whatever, he's stuck here. If not, then he'll be taken off here shortly and won't do it. And so we had rehearsals where I was actually like ran through King Herod's lines and shit like that. And then after a week, during that week that I was there, people started falling out and quitting the show actually, which is interesting. Kelly made multiple statements to put on Facebook. We're going to continue on with this production no matter what. Whether we have to do it to no crowd, live stream. We were looking at live streaming, all these different options to do it. And then that final weekend when I was supposed to go fly back, we're hanging out. It's Saturday, and this is funny. It's like the day COVID hit. They made the law in Montana that all bars have to close at like, what was it, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. that night?
Yeah, something ridiculous.
And there are people wasted in Deer Lodge, believe it or not, Mahomes, at 4 o'clock.
No, not my hometown.
Yeah, no way. There are some stories about fights and shit that day that would not blow your mind if you know Deer Lodge.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
So we're sitting there in this bar at 7:30, at the Montana bar at 7:30. I'm not even drunk, just kind of hanging out. It's like, oh, I got to fly back tomorrow or whatever. Just checking my phone, like I check my work emails and stuff. Just like it's my last night in town. I might as well have a few drinks. And I get an email from my superintendent that if you are currently on spring break in the lower 48, do not come back to Alaska because we lived in the villages, so you have to fly via bush plane, and if virus would break out in the villages, like the Spanish flu, the Spanish flu took out like 50% of the villages because native populations can't handle virus infections as well as like other people can. So he told everybody to stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was told to stay in Montana and work. It was like a take shelter a warning or whatever. So I was like, instead of take shelter, I was like, I'm going to film Jesus Christ Superstar and get paid for it.
And get wasted.
I was gonna say, did you decide that I'm not gonna have any drinks at that point after that email? Did you decide, I'll have a couple, I guess?
Yeah, I figured. Actually, I announced it at the bar, and the entire bar went fucking nuts.
I play in the film. I play Jesus, and just to let people know, that is not my role of choice in Jesus Christ Superstar. I love the role of pilot. I played it on stage before. That's the role I wanted to play. But our Jesus, just like half the cast, got freaked out and said, my family doesn't want me to do this with COVID-19. No one knew what it was and all this shit. So we're sitting around literally having a couple of beers after our last rehearsal. We were recording, I think, for some reason. And I was like, I don't know who came up with the idea for the film, but we just started talking about it. And we were like, well, we can't do it without a Jesus. Who can play Jesus? Then finally I was like, well, if no one else comes forward, I'll play Jesus. I'm 50 pounds out of shape. Yeah. So I just called myself Fat Jesus the whole time.
It was funny. When was that night that happened? I got that email. It was like that scene off of Wolf of Wall Street. I was like, I'm not fucking leaving. They're like, what? I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not going anywhere. So, anyways, that's the backstory. I honestly want to do an episode on this next week. Just because I can present videos and all this shit. We can do a super long episode on it. But basically, we did a digital production. It got so fucking crazy. The cops shut down our theater. They didn't know what was going on. They actually put signs on our theater to shut it down. So we were actually harassed by police, all these things. We had to sneak out of town and film this on a Montana farm because the governor of Montana is a fucking moron. And with zero, because he's Democrat,
was a moron.
Yeah, because he's Democrat.
He's not the governor anymore.
Yeah, he's not. He has to follow his TV set or whatever his liberals say verbatim without even thinking whatsoever. So with 0 to 1 cases a day in fucking huge ass Montana, he shut down the entire fucking state instantly. Instantly, nothing can be open. Nothing.
So Pat,
insanity.
Can I tell a little story about the day that they actually came in?
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I want to do this next week, and I want
actually, save it.
Leave us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
cliffhanger. Okay, yeah, save it for next week. But I have the actual story of when the cops fucking came in and served the papers.
Yeah. Anyways, we did a digital production of it. It went from us just doing it for fun in our theater to a live streaming event to they shut down the theater to we did it, snuck out of town, did digital production of it in the this farm land that we had a friend at. We snuck out there, did it there out in the open space, and it took about a month and a half to shoot the entire thing, and it's been 2 years working on it. Now it's finally being released over Easter weekend, and I've slaved over it probably fucking on and off for 2 straight years. So I swear to God, it's over probably 2,000 different audio and video clips combined just to get the fucking thing done. It's insane.
That's crazy.
That's
fucking insanity.
Yes, and we don't say slave, we say indentured servant.
I was an indentured servant to this.
That sounds like you were.
Hey, so Pat had 2 years to work on the video part of it. They hand me the computer today, and he's like, "You have 2 days to put the music together." most of it's there. Most of it's there.
So tonight's main thing I want to talk a lot about actually is no, the wrong slide. No, Blacklisted. Is Jimmy Barber. No. Is Barber's dad from Detroit is what I want to talk to. No, Redgate. Redgate's getting fucking nuts. As he announced before we got on it, actually during the air, a lot of momentum going for it, but it's getting really fucking crazy. So we have just to recap everything throughout this entire process. It's gotten to a point where I can't even keep track of how many things we have lined up for it right now. I have a fucking meeting on Monday with another production crew that wants to come to Deer Lodge and do an investigation in the Redgate area for a while. I just got off a call last night with a celebrity. She's a big, I wouldn't say huge celebrity. She has a lot of major connections in the industry. We spent 2 hours talking to her last night, and she wants to come to Deer Lodge end of June, early July for a full fucking week and do an entire like show on it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, that's on top of the guy who already have a TV series secure rights deal with his pitching it around Netflix, Hulu, and everything else. And that's on top of this other guy that wants to do an investigation that we met in Detroit. So it's like it's just getting to a point where it's just like I can't even fucking keep track of like what's going on anymore.
So without saying the girl, the like famous girl, does her name rhyme with Bim Bardagian?
She was a reality TV show star, and then her entire family's into television and stuff. And fucking some of the she wouldn't say the names last night to us, but one of her big connections she's really good friends with is like the WWE champion wrestling guy. Half his face is like a shadow or something. I don't know. I don't really follow that shit, but she has that, and she's really fucking cool, and she wants. I talk to her like every other day now because we're.
Oh, so it was Marcy Rocker Girl is who you're talking about? Connections to WWE?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. She had like one of our best views ever, right? So
She did.
I think the episode's up to like 200 views already, actually.
It's the new Gangnam Style that video. One quick thing, Pat. I thought about the intros. I wanted to say this too, but I forgot when we're laughing and shit in the beginning there. I kind of want to see those clips now because it's been a while. It's been a couple months, so you forget like what was even said. But like, what made Mahoney like laugh that hard, or what was they talking about when I'm like, you can't park in a handicap spot?
yeah.
Like I forget what we were even talking about. And then the one episode, I had the ashes on my forehead.
I guarantee every time I talked, I was talking about the fucking tech because every single thing.
Is it working now?
Can you hear me? Fucking thing sucks.
Hey, remember when Marcy Rocker Girl, she's like, and I know this is weird, but I'm a Christian. The Matt comes back on, Jesus fucking Christ, can you guys even hear me? I was like on cue.
you would have thought we set it up that way.
Oh, she had it coming. I don't know.
She had it coming. Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
that's why we do this podcast, for spontaneous bullshit.
It's all spontaneous moments. Whatever happened with that? Wasn't Bromley supposed to have some sort of episode coming out with like Osborne? Wasn't that supposed to come out in February, and then it got pushed back because the supply chain or some bullshit?
Yeah, he had an episode with Osborne's son, right? But I don't know. I don't know if it did yet. Every time I see him, he's like, "Oh, did you hear the podcast where blah blah blah?" Or me and Pat were on the podcast. You listen to it? Like, man, I really. It's hard to listen, to podcasts when you have so much fucking shit going on in life. But he's always talking about them, and I'd like to hear the one with Ozzy Osbourne's son because I think that's fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that I'm not. Is that a podcast or is that just a show? Like, I'm super curious as to what the situation. Pat, what's the situation with the Donnie and Marie Osmond show he was supposed to do?
It's called Fright Club Season 2, and it was supposed to be out by now. I should actually let me see Fright Club. Let me look it up now. I can't get any information. It was supposed to be out. I think it was supposed to be out in February, and now it's like they said more like April. I don't know. I gotta ask them. They just shot an entire second season. It just hasn't happened to actually appear yet on Discovery Plus. Is where it's going to appear at. But yeah, it's supposed to go on pretty soon. I should ask Don about that actually.
So without saying too much, because I know it just happened yesterday, but like, this person that talked to you, do they want to come and like have you be involved with this whole thing, or like you go out and you kind of like guide them, or they're just like gonna talk to you because they found out through you, or what's that look like?
Well, we're me and Don are directly involved with the entire thing because I've been investigating it, and he has the picture and everything else, and we're talking about going up to the actual area and doing an investigation in the actual area for an entire night, being dropped off there or whatever. And we're talking about investigating. She wants to go into like the old prison, and there's so much stuff here that we can go into. But like she's talking about filming 12 hours a day for like an entire fucking week here, doing all this stuff. So yeah, she said, yeah, 100%. We'd be part of it or whatever. And again, Dawn, of course, Dawn, partway through the podcast last night, had to be like, doesn't he look like Napoleon Dynamite? So again, we talked about Amanda Bierce from Married Children, like asking for my photo. She like stopped right in the middle of the podcast, like, okay, I need to get your photograph really quick. Do some Napoleon stuff for me. It's like, okay. So she was taking my photograph last night during the morning.
Hey Pat, I watched some of your Napoleon stuff, and it got me thinking. Making movies and stuff. What if we did a Napoleon Dynamite like we did the one year Napoleon Goes to Hell? Did a full feature-length movie. It probably takes a week to shoot, and make it like Napoleon Dynamite, but R-rated.
Yeah, like R-rated. That's our bad Napoleon. Like that'd be fucking hilarious.
And I think it would fucking sell too, man. I mean, there's so many Napoleon Dynamite fans out there. You got the character down. You got the glasses and everything. I could play Uncle Rico.
I know. I was thinking about casting, and like 100%, I was thinking you would be Uncle Rico for sure.
I could throw this football over that mountain.
I could see that 100% for sure.
Well, get the gal from Married with Children, and then you got your star that's going to win you all the film festivals like you talked about.
Well,
exactly.
Napoleon Dynamite XXX, Pat. Let's bring them all in.
Yeah. God.
Hey, we could get John Hurt in there too. Oh, too soon.
Yeah, he's dead as fuck, man.
No, I'm pretty sure he's alive.
No, he died.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dead.
Moose had his last cigarette with John Hurd.
No way.
In Hollywood. Yeah, he's dead. Home Alone. Kevin McAllister's dad is gone.
He's gone, man.
He's gone. Cut.
Wow. God,
Hey.
he died. Jeez, he died in 2017. Where the hell have I been?
I like Matt up in Alaska. Half of us are going to die. Not the better half.
I thought it was appropriate.
God.
No, it's not fucking appropriate.
But Pat, I'm 100% serious. Like maybe next September or something. Take a week and we don't need to treat it super like official or anything. Just look at the Napoleon Dynamite shots and try to replicate them, but then make it with F words and shit.
I agree. I'd be fucking hilarious.
And I think it'd sell. I think people would watch the shit out of that. I know I would.
Would you watch it, Mahomes?
Oh, for sure. And a quick shout out to Drew. I saw he popped up on the chat. Hey, Drew. I think Drew would watch the shit out of it too.
Our numbers aren't always correct. We always are stuck on 0, but I guarantee we have more listeners than that. Drew is actually Drew from.
I hope so. Like there's
We get more than 0. More listeners at the very minimum.
Yeah, there's always
Pat signed into his second Facebook account as he's actually Drew Bynum. Hey guys, I'm enjoying this chat.
Funny fucking episode tonight, man.
Drew's actually going down to Texas this month with us because he lives like 3 hours away for the
cool.
horror convention. I should pull up a picture of that really quick.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, I've actually talked to people about being in that actual show or whatever. I can't say who so far, but like Napoleon, like that shit would be fucking hilarious. No, so you know where I got that idea? Did we talk about where I got that idea from?
What idea?
What idea?
Doing Napoleon TikToks. Mahomes you're not on TikTok, right?
Oh,
No.
You told me. I can't remember. Did someone say something on a podcast? Or someone said something in Detroit, didn't they?
No, well, Detroit, because the lady took my picture for Napoleon, and then I was at the Montana bar after Detroit with Dawn, not last week, the weekend before, and a lady, girl, whatever, came up to me out of nowhere, and she's like, "You look just like Napoleon." Start doing Napoleon stuff for me. She took this big, long fucking video being posted, like, "So this is gonna go viral so fast. I just met Napoleon Dynamite." Like she was like obsessed. I had no idea who she was or whatever, but like So that got me my wheels turned. Then there was another girl that I met there that watched my TikToks, and she was telling me how funny some of the shit I did. So I was like, okay, well, I'm doing nothing but funny, stupid shit from now on. So I started doing Napoleon Dynamite, and the first one. So Mahomes, the first one I did was I put the caption on there. Whenever a girl refuses to go out with me in Deer Lodge, and then I'm just looking out the window at the box office, like, stupid sluts.
Yeah, make a movie and make it all like that, just like Napoleon Dynamite, but just off the rails.
Yeah.
Like Napoleon Dynamite's just done 6 rails of coke, and that's what that's what the movie is.
That would be too much fun to do.
Yeah.
Now
I'm thinking about that movie, trying to figure out who's around that we could cast in it.
So here's my thing is though, shoot the entire film just like Napoleon Dynamite. They shoot it just like it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I found old notebook. I once I put a picture on Instagram. I think Mahone saw it, but it was I went through the entire original film of Napoleon Dynamite before we shot Mad Dad, and I wanted to get shots that were similar because I love the shots in that. So the Mad Dad scene where Mahomes picks up the bag of shit and pukes all over, that shot, I got that shot angle or whatever from Napoleon Dynamite. That's fucking funny. That shot where he's like, so much shit all over my
Yeah,
that was fucking funny.
I don't know what it is about Napoleon Dynamite. Like, that's such a weird, unique movie from the last 20 years, 30 years, maybe longer.
Anybody I talk to, if I put on my glasses and act like Napoleon, like, oh my God, that's 100% you. That late last night, it was the first 30 minutes. Dawn said that, and the entire rest of the show, she's like, I just can't get that image out of my. I can't see you any other way. You're Napoleon.
I swear to God, we were talking about doing. Do you remember this movie we were talking about, Pat, in college, where like we wanted to write it, and like Mahoney would be in it, and there'd be these rednecks in this trailer.
Yeah.
And like, hey, Mama, I dropped a mouse in my soup. Did you ever read that, Mahoney?
Yeah.
We had a reading in your basement, your parents' basement, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
I remember the reading we had in your parents' basement. That was the movie we were going to film that year, actually.
Yeah.
So we did that reading, and it was a really funny idea. And then, like, the next couple of months, Napoleon Dynamite came out, and I watched it. And now that wasn't our exact idea, but I was like, holy fuck, that is kind of the images I had in my head for that redneck movie. And I was just like, whoever came up with this beat us to the punch, I guess, you know.
Well, we switched from that to like Mad Dad that summer. I don't know how it all happened, but Napoleon came out in the fall, and we had read that script like maybe over the summer in Mahone's basement, and then by like January you started really working on Mad Dad, and by the spring we had Mad Dad the script, and that's what we ended up going with.
Do you like Napoleon Dynamite, Mahoney? Like, is that one of your favorite movies?
I mean, not like I like it. It's not like in my top 10, but I enjoyed it. I watched it.
It's strange as fuck.
It's super weird. I don't know. There is something about it that it felt like, I don't know, just kind of what we were doing at the time, and like it just felt relatable. You know, it felt like.
No, I'll stick to my Facebook post a while back. It was like I felt like we were there, and they ripped off our idea and basically made a film making fun of me. Is what I felt like. So no, I've never honestly liked that movie ever. I don't ever want to see that movie ever again.
I saw it at the Wilma of all places.
Wow.
And the girl I was dating in college, she's like, hey, you ever seen Napoleon Dynamite? I was like, I have no clue what that is. She goes, it's so freaking funny. You gotta watch it. So I went and saw it at the Wilma, and I was like, oh yeah, that's fucking that is some strange shit right there.
It's super weird. And that's, to me, it just felt like, this is kind of feels like we were about to do this, and then they did this. And it was like, it went viral before like going viral was a thing. Because we were in college, and that's all anyone would talk about. And it was before even like Facebook came to the college I was at. So it was just like everyone was quoting that movie like nonstop.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. And I think in the yearbook that year, I don't know why I saw that yearbook, but they had Napoleon Dynamite. You know how they have the back, like, things to be remembered this year of graduation or whatever? They had Napoleon Dynamite. Freaking idiot. He's drinking the milk. This one tastes like the cow got into an onion patch. It's like, what are we watching here?
We could take so much shit off that movie and make it like dirty or dark or whatever.
Dirtier.
And it would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, no doubt.
You just have to.
Well, let's do it.
Watch out for the
Probably
old
stopped.
lawsuit, you know.
We should probably stop talking about all of our ideas on a live podcast.
I know.
Because clearly they get stolen every time we talk about them.
Luckily, there's only 4 people listening. That's the people talking right now.
Make Napoleon Dynamite dirty or dark.
somehow next week that comes out and it wins an Oscar. Got Will Smith up there slapping the shit out of someone.
Okay, Uncle Rico, you're gonna slowly unbutton your pants.
Oh God.
They do have weird connotations in that movie though, if you think about it. Like, you know, are you not drinking whole milk because you think you're fat? Pat could say something, you know, you're not drinking whole milk because you don't think your tits are big enough.
Have not seen it since high school. Have not seen it since like my fucking sophomore year or something.
Oh, go watch it, man.
I can go in a bar, get my ass kicked in pool like normal. Fucking idiots! hit someone with the pool stick or something to run away.
And I didn't. You know, the thing I've learned the most over the last 2 weeks is apparently like playing pool is a much bigger part of everyone's life than I initially anticipated.
God. Don't even get me started with Don Bromley. Holy shit, that is fucking going to Montana these days, and that's all people do is just play pool 24/7. Like they got 2 pool tables in there now. It's just like people are fucking obsessed, and they're like really good pool players in there too. Last night I was watching Don play this other guy that I know is pretty good, and they're both sucking. I was like, this fucking sucks. Why are you guys sucking so bad? Well, I found out the name of the game was they shoot every shot left-handed. So it's either left-handed or you can do it behind your back with your right hand is what it was. Like, okay. I play, so Don, he plays, you ever heard of Bank 8? Or
I had never heard of it until he brought it up on the last podcast.
He plays, so he scratched last night, and I fucking beat him because he's scratching the 8 ball. I don't care if he's playing Bank 8 or not. You fucking shoot the ball, scratching the 8 ball, you lose. That's the rule. But I didn't really care because it's a fucking meaningless game. But he does that with me where we'll play, and he'll hit some balls straight in, but he'll hit like a lot of balls. I suck. He'll hit a lot of balls through Bank 8 where it's off different corners and where we just see if we can hit it in. That's what he does. Him and that, I don't know. But yeah.
So where'd you guys play pool at last night?
The Montana. He wanted to, after we had that 2-hour episode with that celebrity last night, he wanted to go hang out at the Montana and talk about some things. So I was there for maybe like a half an hour or so. I didn't really drink
so Pat, were you like, no, fuck you, you hit the 8 ball in, I win. But I don't care. It was just a meaningless game.
Hey, listen, man. Like, all I do is beat you at pool, but I mean, who doesn't matter? You know.
Yeah.
I won, you didn't. Everyone here knows that I won and you didn't, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, Kelly's mother-in-law was there last night, and
Kelly's mother-in-law.
Yeah, she was like,
give the deets, baby.
Yeah, the deets. Well, she said I won. She was on my side, so I thought I won.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pat's like, so I took her home, and now I'm Kelly's father-in-law.
Oh,
God.
That's funny.
There's this guy later last night. He looked like, his name was Travis. He looked like a guy that you could see in a fucking Twilight Zone episode easily. He just had that face and everything.
Yeah, I know who that is. It's he was dating the town retard. I couldn't think of a better term.
There's always a better term.
Hey, I will say one thing about that Travis guy. I was at Lucky Will's a couple years ago, and I was super drunk. And they called me the next day, and they're like, "Hey, somebody turned in $50 that you apparently left in the ATM." I was like, "What? Really?" Apparently, it was that Travis guy. So next time I saw him, I was going to give him $50. So I avoided the bars and Lucky Will's from that time forward.
Kelly hasn't been back to the Montana since.
Saved a shit ton of money.
Well, last night it was kind of funny you say, because last night he left a 20 on the bar, just left it there, and your mother-in-law was picking it up saying, "Hey, this is your money."
Your mother-in-law. That's like last week when we kept saying Barber's dad. Like, he doesn't have a name? Nope, Barber's dad.
Before I know it, your mother-in-law was going home with Travis last night.
Hey,
I told you he's a stud.
what do you want to name your baby? Can we go with Barber's dad? Legally naked.
So is that gonna be first name and middle, or is it going to be Barber's dad?
Oh, Mahomes, you didn't hear what happened on that trip. The real thing. So Barber's dad was supposed to pay for the whole thing, right? That was why Don spent a week and a half with that guy on the road. Turns out he already paid for anything.
I mean, like,
just throwing him under the bus on here.
Don's like, I lost. I was like, he's like, I lost a lot of money on that last trip we did. I don't know if I could text it to you guys. Like, how? I thought Barber was paying for it. Everyone was like, no, I lost over $2,000. It's like, what?
like honestly, there's no way it was going to be cheaper, even if he was just like, you know what, I'll pay for 80% of it. Still going to be expensive because you're apparently going to every museum on I-90, going to bars, you're doing like whatever you're doing. Just catch a flight, man. Pay $200 for a flight. Pay another $200 for a flight. That's only $400. You still have $1,600 that you can. I don't know what the fuck he's thinking, and I'm assuming he doesn't know this guy like well enough to be like, you know what, let's just hop in the car and drive halfway across the country together.
No, he doesn't know him that well. That's the thing. Like, I'm not just going to climb in a car with almost anybody and drive across the country. Like, you pretty much have to be my family or one of my best friends. But I kind of know him from the bar on Saturday nights. You want to drive to Detroit? Not a good idea.
That's a great way to end up in a ditch somewhere. Like, not a chance.
I think he said the last when he got back. He's like, yeah, I just fed him whiskey early in the morning so he'd fall out and pass out. From the right back, so it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, he's like, he basically roofied the guy all the way home. Like,
here's your daily whiskey shot.
Dude, I like how this podcast title is Alien Cover Up and Deer Lodges. That's what we're talking about.
Oh,
yeah, you might have to change that.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what we were supposed to be talking about. So that's my fault.
You should name it Napoleon Barber's dad. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this about?
I tell you, I was at the Montana bar the day they were leaving. It was like in the afternoon. I was hanging out there for a while. And there's a guy, I swear, just looked just like Barber's dad. So I was like, I thought he was supposed to be in the road right now. This is not surprising he's still hanging out here.
Like, at what point, like, how many miles in do you think Don was like, I might have miscalculated this?
Racetrack. Hey, he gets pulled over. The cop's like, spell your last name for me. He's like, Dad, D-A-D.
I mean, and I don't know the guy really at all. He could be a great dude, but if I don't know him that well and I only know him from drinking bars, I wouldn't take a ride to fucking Warm Springs with him, let alone Detroit.
Warm Springs. He should have dropped him off in Warm Springs.
That was like one of the most fascinating stories I've ever heard. It was like, I was amazing. It lived up to the hype and then some.
We got to film that one too. The trip with Don and Barber's dad. We got to film that as a movie.
Like even if you filmed it, people would be like, "Okay, what's with all the fucking museums?"
So last week, adding on to the Redgate stuff here. Last week I left this podcast and I pulled out. Again, it's like 11 o'clock at night by the time I finally leave here, and I was driving. I've been drinking a little bit, so I was like, hope I'm not being followed by a cop car. They're gonna pull me over like 2 blocks from my house. And this car starts following me the entire time, and then I take a left, find my street I'm going on. You know, you take a left and you look for that car to pass you that's right behind you. So I'm waiting for the passenger to just turn and follow me and waiting as I'm pulling in. And like, I never fucking seen like they just fucking disappeared. It was the most bizarre fucking thing alive.
Wow.
And then I just got a story from Don a couple days ago. So we were on a podcast. He's telling this girl this story. I was like, "Are you serious? Or you just making this up?" And he's like, he told me last night. He's like, "No, it's serious." So he has access to private property and stuff. He goes up and checks. He sets up trail cameras to monitor like millionaire properties in these different areas in Montana. And he's coming down to his private property to check his trail cams to see if anybody's been trespassing or anything. He goes to this gate or whatever at the very bottom. He's going, and then at the gets to the very bottom, there's a black SUV there waiting for him. And suddenly the black SUV just fucking skids its tires out, just fucking takes off, just disappears like instantly. Fucking weird. Yeah, really weird. Like he does crazy, like, man. I was like, that fucking dude's like, yeah, I'm dead serious. Like, that's fucking really fucking weird. That's how I say this. The credence of this Men in Black shit with Redgate, and the closer you get to it, and the more you investigate, it's like how much. It's all like you feel like they're keeping tabs on you because they don't want to do the work because they don't want to like just come out here in their suits and just kind of like hang out waiting for aliens to show up. You know what? So they're just kind of like monitoring what you're actually doing just to see what fucking happens. That's what it kind of feels like. What do you think, Kelly?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fucking weird, but I also think that like you know, if you kind of have your mind on something like, okay, is this going to happen, or does this shit exist? You know, is the government following me? Then anybody could believe that the government's following them. You know, so I don't know. It's just weird. It's mind trickery, and maybe it is bigger than like what we think. You know, it's not just a film. Like you've said, your plans. Your current plans with the film, and I don't want to give those away if you don't want to talk about it. But I mean, I think it's a good plan, and I think
go ahead.
anytime.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
Well,
I don't care.
Pat's been talking about.
Our one viewer might hear it. No, I'm just kidding.
Pat's been talking about government contracting and aligning with like the government because apparently they have this agenda to scare people off the UFO track for whatever reason. Maybe because the world population is so fragile that they can't have any of this fear out there because people lose their fucking minds, or they want to just keep people in check. Who knows what the reason is? But I guess my biggest thing is if you align with the people that have the power and the money, then I mean, I guess you're on the right side when it comes to power and money, and that might not be too bad of an idea. The weirdest thing was I was filling out an application to become a government contractor for either myself or Cutler Brothers or some new entity. This was like 3 years ago, and it's a huge application. But I was like, you know what? I haven't filled out a giant application in a while since, we did the nonprofit application 12 years ago. I was like, this will be a challenge if nothing else. And then somebody talked me out of it. They're like, no, I got buddies that do that. It's just a shit show. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just stopped. But looking back, I'm like, maybe it is worth finishing that thing so you can get paid, $80,000 to move, like I said, a truckload of sandbags from Idaho to Wyoming, because the government doesn't waste fucking money. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm just saying if you align with the money, you're going to make some crazy money.
Here's the good of that narrative, though, that the government's trying to scare people with the UFOs, aliens. Check out this article. It was sent to me just today. This is fucking happened just today. This is kind of a crazy-ass fucking article. I'll share this right now. It's really fucking interesting. It's like you're going to see, I promise you're going to see a lot more articles like this one you're going to see right here. Is that full screen there? You can see that?
Yeah.
UFO sightings have left witnesses with radiation burns, brain damage, and perceived time suspension, according to interviews in newly released Pentagon report from 2010. So this is a report from the Pentagon from 2010. They're just releasing it. And this goes with this narrative that I was talking about last night with this the celebrity last night. She was talking about, like, aren't they just preparing everybody for aliens to exist? Like, Kelly?
I don't know what the reason is. I wish that I could get behind the curtain on all this shit that we talk about, these quote unquote conspiracies and things. I wish I just could get behind the curtain and see what's going on. But with aliens, I just don't understand. It's like, is that really like a huge deal if they do exist or if they don't exist?
I'm saying they're getting ready to reveal aliens to the entire world. like an actual alien appearance, like an actual connection with a spaceship that comes down or UFOs come down and they, are they getting ready?
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't feel like that's in the next couple of years or even 5 years. But I mean, are you talking about like legitimate? They're going to reveal legitimate aliens, or are you talking about like they're going to try to convince people that there's a spaceship somewhere?
No, I think they're gonna prepare people for an actual like aliens come down and do whatever. I don't know what do whatever. But preparing people for that reality, and then aliens show up, and it's not so shocking to people. They don't lose their minds. I don't know. It's weird, but you listen to this before. Like U.S. intelligence officials have evidence that UFO sightings have led to adverse health effects like radiation burns, paralysis, even brain damage, according to a newly released report from a shadowy Pentagon program that closed in 2012. That's just a fucking weird ass fucking report. You know what I mean?
That is weird. But if they, if the intention behind COVID or any of these other things was to strike fear into people's hearts, which obviously they successfully did, then I think aliens, I think they're going to have to be a lot more delicate with, because I mean, even I would be shocked, There's a fucking what in Butte?
Well, yeah, most people, there's aliens. I was like, okay, yeah, obviously they have brain damage already, so it's nothing new.
What do you think, Mahomes?
I mean, I think I can see this. Would I be shocked if they're like trying to like sprinkle in some dust of like, hey man, there's some stuff out there you guys should be worried about.
Oh shit! Here come the fucking aliens. I don't really care.
What would you guys do if, as Pat says that, he just gets zapped up from
I think it'd be fucking hilarious, actually.
Kelly, hey, Kelly, when it comes to all this shit, I'm gonna take Mahomes' line from going nowhere. I don't really care. I just want to get fucking wasted.
Hey, I hope Kelly gets abducted by the aliens, then like his ass crack is all we see last going up in the sky.
Like the Adventures of Pete and Kit. Oh god,
yeah.
That guy. That guy's not a pedophile at all. Anyways,
see, Jesus. Man-made like scare tactics and shit don't bother me whatsoever, because I just don't trust the human race. I don't believe the human race, and I just roll my eyes. I guess it's just me and you now.
Yeah, man. I think they've had enough. Apparently, my abduction joke made everyone had to pee or something.
They just, for some reason, they just switch seats, even though they're 3 blocks away.
No, the only thing I was gonna say in terms of like, I don't know. I've been pretty open about my belief that like I think you have to be kind of silly to think there's not other life out there in some aspect.
Right.
And I think the people that would be most concerned about it were initially the government, because like how are we going to control this? Like, will people stop paying taxes because they know there's aliens? Or then also I think religion is the big one. Are like people going to freak out? Like, are they going to lose faith? And then is that going to like cause a huge ripple effect? And I have no idea. Would I be shocked? No. Would I be like, okay, are they friendly? Because we as a human race are kind of assholes to people in general. So I kind of like, hopefully they're not like that. Hopefully we put our best foot forward.
Well, and we've talked before, I think you are on the same page as me. Like, I really do believe, I don't see how you don't believe that there's something else out there, if not a ton of shit. So I really do believe in aliens. I wouldn't be surprised. I just wonder what's going on. Like, the highest officials in the fucking world, we have some stuff here. You know what I mean? We're a pretty smart species compared to the rest of the planet and all the other animals. We are like so dominant, it's stupid,
Yeah.
So, and then the smartest of the smarts, the scientists, whatever you want to call them, do you think they're already like talking to like let's just to dumb it down? Let's say they're talking to Mars or another planet. Do you think that's already happening if aliens are out there, or do you think they're like, hey, yeah, well, listen, don't come down in your spaceship because most of our people are gonna freak the fuck out and it'll kill. It'll just be mass hysteria, or do you think we really haven't made contact with anybody else out there? I know it's a giant question, but
I don't know that we have or haven't made contact. I think what I look at is kind of, Pat pointed to this, like, hey, they're kind of rolling all this stuff out, like showing all these UFOs stuff now lately about like sightings, or then this thing that he pointed to. I think that's kind of interesting. I think it's also really, really interesting that, to your point, like the most powerful people in the world have the most money. And now look at all these like uber billionaires that all of a sudden are getting spaceships. I think that's kind of a weird correlation to, as things are going.
right.
But
How about that guy in the top screen there?
I mean, and I think that's the problem when people try to talk serious about aliens. There's always one of those guys.
I love how he starts the conversations and just fucking leaves.
No, he's like, all right, here's a super complicated thing. You guys carry the show for the next 25 minutes.
Right.
Well,
what are we talking about again?
we're still talking about aliens, but
Okay.
What do you think, Pat? I'll ask the question to you. Do you think that like the highest up officials, the biggest governments and everything are actually communicating outside of the world? Because I think most of us agree, I think all of us agree, that there is life outside of the Earth. Whether it's a billion light years away or closer than that, we agree that there's life somewhere because it's just too
100%.
expansive not to support life, you know?
0% chance there's no life. My thing is, Jesus Christ, what's he doing up there?
Sorry.
I think he's going to Mars, man.
He's just blowing Tilly off screen.
I go back
I'm
to
trying to listen, damn it.
who was that?
Sorry.
Guess he had on Colin Kennedy? Cole. So I go back to what Cole said about the Israeli report from that guy who used to do the space program there. And he went off about the U.S. government knows about all this shit about how we're preparing for people to know about aliens and shit. And I think that's my final statement of the night.
Let's round those spaceships.
Dude, that was intelligent and to the
No,
point.
I got some breaking news though. You want to hear some breaking news here?
Yeah,
Yes.
hell yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, this is crazy. This happened up in the Redgate area, inconveniently or conveniently, you might say. So I'll share the screen right here. Just check this out. We'll start this
Or
out.
conveniently.
Here, let me share this.
They found 10 dead bodies. That's like, or conveniently.
It's the worst possible thing to happen. But it's good for the movie.
Share the screen. Share the screen.
All right, here we go. So this is crazy. So they found these two dead dogs. They were hung from trees like this. One was hung like this. One was hung by a rope, and they had shock collars attached to them. They're mutilated, having like their ears like skinned off, and
That's
and
fucked
all
up.
this fucked up shit, right? Really fucked up shit. And they just happened like this past week, and they just found these dogs here, like that. So, given like the pictures here, we can go through the pictures here really quick. It's just really fucked up. Like, who the fuck does this? Like, really fucked up shit. Skinned, ears are fucking cut off, shock collars are on them. I mean, this is just disgusting, fucked up shit.
I
I
say when I
guess
first
Michael
saw it,
Vick moved to Montana.
that's what I say when I first saw it, I thought dogfighting or something.
Well, what do you make of that initial image? Mahomes, for those initial images, like what is that?
It's disgusting, man. And it's like, I don't know. The first thing I think, like, honestly, like, snap judgment is like, one, it's weird that you said this was convenient because I knew it was going to be something totally disgusting. And then two, like that's the type of like pre-serial killer stuff that you see. Like there's this build up to like hurting insects and mutilating animals, and then you start with like you kidnap somebody or you like do something a little too much to somebody, and then you start killing, and then like and so on and so on.
So just to clarify your statement, you would say that there's nothing normal about that.
No, I think that's really, really like
Okay,
potentially super dangerous for people in town.
So what I'm about to show you now might actually fucking shock you even worse. I'll pull this up here. This is where it gets fucking really weird. This just happened tonight. So they did a report on this on KXLF. They finally did a report. They did this off the Durash News Network report, and they followed up on the TV station KXLF off of Butte. And the Powell County Sheriff comes out and says there's no signs of foul play whatsoever in pit bull found here. John Greenwood had discovered the animal. I thought it might be a cat or whatever, and we got a dog around the neck of the mummified pit bull with 2 remote-controlled shock collars. Should we go through all the details? That the sheriff here says not to worry. There's no indication this dog is connected to other dead dogs found near the west side. The incident involving the 2 deceased dogs were not related to any part that we know of. The time frame of the death is quite a ways apart. He says that since the dog has been there for several months, it is difficult to determine the cause of death. Unfortunately, dogs die. Sometimes in our investigation, we find out owners of the dogs are responsible. Other times we find out it was accidental in nature. At this point in our investigation, there hasn't been any indication that there was nefarious in nature. There's no foul play. This is a totally normal thing to happen, is what they are saying.
Dude, that sounds like he's like writing that report from his desk and like not even moving whatsoever.
What the fuck do you make of that? Like, what do you make of that shit?
That's a huge crock of shit. I just saw the pictures. Like, there's pretty clearly a sign of foul play. Like, I like the part where he's like, we don't know like who did this. It's a long time ago. Like that, I understand, but you can't say there's not a sign. Like, someone tortured those dogs and like put them in a disgusting place. Like I said, that's like, I'm more worried that person's going to kill a human being like soon.
Yeah. How is that not foul play? Two. Maybe they're not dead at the same exact time. Of course, they're not going to die at the same exact. Why would the 2 dogs die at the same exact time? That makes no sense. But 2 with shock collars and their ears are cut off, and you saw the fucking photos. Like, how is that normal?
Yes,
like,
that's not normal. That's not like, you can't just be like, well, dogs die sometimes. Not like that. Like, they get run over. They don't get tortured with shock collars and hung from a tree and have their ears like, that's not normal, man. There's nothing normal about that.
that's when the story just gets crazier and crazier. Not even Deer, but Redgate. It's just like, what the fuck is going on here, Kelly? Like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, read that fucking report, then watch the actual pictures and everything. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I have no clue. That is insane. I mean, it just shows you the lack of, how can you trust any like news outlet when they don't even fucking do an ounce of research, or they'll just look at something and say, I don't know. Yeah, looks like she choked when half her head's cut off.
And again, the news outlet is reporting from the sheriff here in Deer Lodge. They're taking their report in all fairness. But I mean, again, with news outlets though themselves, it's like everything's subjective. You could have did the headline different or something like that, But it's like I have to watch the video. They didn't post all the pictures there. I'd like to watch the video though to see, because like in the video I don't know how much of the posters the pictures they show. We see. Let me just skim through this really quick. I'm just watching this really quick.
I can't imagine many. I mean, that's.
No, they blur the fucking. Wait. They blur the fucking photos out.
Yeah, that's not really.
Man.
That's not something I wanted to see. So I can't imagine that's something they put on just local cable news.
They blurred it out. They blurred all the fucking photos out.
I'm trying to find I can't think of a way, like, even if I stretch my imagination of like, these dogs died of natural causes and then they were dumped for somehow in the woods, and for some reason some animals came and like chewed their ears off. Why did they have shock collars? Why was that one look like it was like hanging from a tree? I don't know. I just have a hard even if I tried it to be like, okay, let me suspend, like, I can't get there.
Yeah, well, it's like when he comes out and says, well, no, foul play is not suspected here. Well, what is suspected? Well, we don't know. It's like, well, what the fuck we talking about here?
Dogs die of natural causes. I'm going to put that. Dogs die of natural causes. I'm going to put that in the fucking headline. Dogs die of natural causes, and show those pictures. Here's natural causes of dogs die.
I mean, you should definitely give people a heads. I would appreciate a heads up before you showed me those pictures. Like, here I was thinking it was going to be some sort of, I thought it was going to be a gag about prison pizza, to be honest, and then I see dead dogs and that.
Yeah, this coming from the guy that worships Michael Vick.
I definitely don't worship Michael Vick. I was a fan until he absolutely tanked our franchise, and then not a huge fan anymore, as it turns out.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's just all fucked up. I don't get it. There's a lot of apparently this is rumor right now, but there's a lot of insider weird shit going on in this town, and we're trying to report on it and everything, but you can't report on rumors. It's just Mahoney, Deer Lodge is just. Are you surprised that there's some weird shit going on?
Absolutely. Like, that's the thing, is it's scary, but it's also like that's another Tuesday in Deer Lodge, like
it's like it makes you wonder, like, you look at the murders and stuff that happened, and we've covered this a lot in the podcast I've been on. But if these people don't openly admit to murder, or the cops are coming like, well, no foul play here. It was a gunshot accident.
I was gonna say the fucking cops sitting there. Well, I do tell you this: there was no foul play. Quote me on that.
Here's the thing. They were just playing Bang 8 or whatever that pool game is. And
nothing to see here, Governor.
Nothing to see here.
That's Sheriff Bender, whoever it is now. Nothing to see here. Clear the way.
Clear the way.
We saw a bunch of dead. We had a bunch of dead dogs, and we had the.
You're like, that's my dog over there. He's like, go back down the main stairwell.
I mean, I equate that to almost like speaking in riddles. Like when you ask someone a straightforward question, like, Kelly, so did you have tacos for dinner? I mean, what is dinner? Like, it was my second meal of the day. I did have tacos, but to me, that's my lunch. It doesn't matter when I ate it.
Bender's like, riddle me this. What is dinner?
The funniest thing is, like, this did actually happen in the Redgate area, which is weird. Like, it did happen.
Yeah, and you're going to go spend the night out there with Bim Bardashian or whatever. I don't think that's a good idea.
No, it's so funny. The one thing me and Don Brownlee disagree with is, like, he will not go up there for very long. He will not have anything to do with it. Even last night, talking to a celebrity, she's like, are you going to go up there with me? He's like, I'll drop you off. I'm not staying up there. Like he's like this. Like, I'm like, drop us off, and technically, legally, we can only walk in the middle of the woods to get out of there in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I think I'm down.
Hey Pat, are you gonna bring?
Would you do that?
Yeah, sorry. So you'd bring a protection up there, not like you know what I mean, but like a gun or something.
Oh, I definitely didn't think you were talking about gun. So
I have no idea.
Like seriously.
I'll say that Mahomes, like, would you stay up there, dropped off in the middle of nowhere where the alien showed up by yourself or with a couple people?
Not if I didn't have some sort of handgun, yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I probably couldn't sleep, to be honest with you. Like,
I think, yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring someone that knows how to shoot a gun because I don't really shoot guns, so maybe I'll do that instead.
I mean, it's pretty easy. Point and shoot. You just got to see what you shoot. So have a flashlight.
Jesus, you think it's that bad?
I mean, you're asking what I would do up there. I would bring a flashlight and a gun.
Foul play, definitely.
No foul play here.
Nothing to see here, Carson.
Jesus. And you honestly wonder why Ted Bundy got away with it for so long. Nope, nothing here. Nothing here, guys. Just a random slipped on her head, got her face beat in, her skull's knocked off. Total accident.
This is diabetes. They're holding the whole fucking carcass.
This is diabetes.
Nice. I just want to bet, boys.
What
was the bet, that you could sneak in the word diabetes into the podcast?
Nonchalantly, but it wasn't so nonchalant.
No, it was quite chalant, actually.
Laker game. Wait, no.
I'm just waiting. No, I had the Pelicans over 231.
Oh, shit, they beat the fuck out of that one.
Mahogany, I've been waiting the whole episode. Okay, where can I get diabetes? Yeah, I heard Napoleon Dynamite had diabetes.
It's just, you just force it in at the worst possible spot.
Hey, we come out. The sheriff comes out. Hey, these dogs clearly died of stage 4 cancer, natural causes.
Yeah.
These dogs had mad cow disease.
They had COVID.
Well, Sheriff, weren't their ears cut off? Hey, I'm not a dog expert. Like, did they have ears in the first place? I don't know.
I'm not a goddamn doctor. This episode's about complete nonsense.
That's what all our episodes should be about. We should have some sort of guiding light, but we never stick to it.
But Carson, what about the dogs?
I mean, the fact that I guess we were talking about the cops. I'm pretty sure he's retired. We're just dragging this poor guy's name through the mud, and I'm pretty sure he's retired.
No, maybe retarded.
Come on.
Hey, this is how dumb Deer Lodge is getting. So we have this Deer Lodge News Network meeting about the dogs, and then don't trust the cops and shit. This is what they're telling us. I'm like, okay. So I leave paranoid. So I get in my Jeep. I'm in front of Peter. I start driving, and I see Bender pull up in his truck as I'm turning down Cottonwood, and I see him, and he's like on his phone. He stops at the stop sign. He's on his phone. I was like, oh. Motherfucker, I should take a picture of him and put that on the Deer Lodge News Network. Then it hit me. Well, then people would know that I was on my phone driving as well.
That's so small town.
Oh, Mahoney, we got to get out of this town, man.
Well, I think he would be pleasantly surprised if you just stayed a weekend somewhere where dogs weren't getting mutilated on just random days.
You mean dogs?
It was so funny. If you read that report, he's like, this had nothing to do with the dogs 2 months ago. It had nothing to do with the dogs throughout every single year. No connection whatsoever.
It's called dogs, Pat. Dogs.
Here's the thing. Dogs die. Is it from natural causes? Sure. Is it from getting hung out in the middle of the woods? I don't know. Who's to say? It's not my job as a police officer to judge what people do in their private time. Sir, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what your job is.
Foul play.
God, Caleb, we those rumors and stuff that we had this inside report we couldn't report on because we couldn't back it up with actual sources and stuff. So they talked about corruption within the city council with all the stuff with the police department stuff, and again we were going to report, so we can't verify. But after seeing that fucking report, I'm like, well, maybe there's some credence to this.
Yeah, that's just super fucking weird.
Super.
I guess I get trying not to get the town in a panic, but also you got to be if there's pictures that are going to be online, you got to tell them at least what to expect, right?
Yeah.
The news report again, like you said, photos like that, I don't know what it is with dogs, and especially dogs. People really can't. I can't stand it, honestly. Nobody can stand it. With dogs, it just seems like doing that to an innocent animal is just so fucking ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Wasn't there reports too that were they actually stealing dogs or whatnot, or was that ever confirmed?
There's nothing confirmed on this. I'm just saying, out in the mountains, out in that bizarre Redgate area, they see these sightings and stuff out there. It's just fucking weird. Because again, Mahomes, you could easily dispose of a dog by simply burying it in the ground.
Yeah, you don't need to. I mean, again, I don't know the area well enough to know. Maybe they did. Maybe they just dumped the dog and it ended up in the tree like that. I don't think so, but maybe.
Maybe they're like Ted Bundy, and later on they wanted to go back and have sex with it.
Jesus, I'm saying they were hung in trees. in a place that's pretty public in this area.
Was to say
It's
their
a-
shot color too. That's pretty brand new shot colors.
Okay, I'll tell you. You want to know what this actually is? So you go up past the dump, up towards the Redgate area. Then there's on the left side, there's that parking lot where people park their snowmobiles or whatever.
Yeah.
Up past that, just a little place past that is where this is done off the side of the road.
Oh, so that's not like it was deep in the woods. It was
No, not at all. This is in pretty much.
man.
public
I don't know.
view.
Like it's creepy. Like it leaves me. It's an unsettled feeling I have seeing that.
Yeah, but hey, no foul play. Clear no foul play here.
None.
No blood, no fouls. They say in the NBA.
They died of natural causes. The guy was probably a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Well, the dog pound gets what they get.
You get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
You know,
Jesus
I gotta
Christ.
tell you guys, I don't know how we don't have sponsors yet.
Hey, the sheriff's like, oh yeah, I have much respect for a dead dog than anything. Get that thing out of the back of my fucking car.
Oh, just like Tate's on NASCAR 2. Oh, yeah. Or
Get the
remake.
remake.
Goddamn
Remake.
thing out of my vehicle.
God, that was the best horror film I've ever seen in theaters to this day. I fucking love
Yep.
that. God, that was so fucking fun. That was so cool. That was so awesome. Such a good film. Yeah, so I guess we're about to round those dog sleds
them up.
tonight.
We're gonna round them dogs, Mahogany.
Yeah. Let's round the dogs
Hey.
with some UFOs.
Hells yeah!
Hey, Mahone, do you like this
Hell
new
yeah.
you like this new Hollywood Squares format with just the four of us?
Yeah, I do. I kind of don't know like where to look most of the time, but I'll figure it out.
No, Matt, you change your internet settings or what'd you do different tonight? You're working good.
No, not really. I have like a minor delay, so I kind of been like anticipating when you guys are stopped talking so I can get my point in. But other than that, no, I'm just using an old ass phone.
No. For non-guest nights, I like this Hollywood Squares for.
Oh yeah, for
This
sure.
is great. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So anyway, I guess we'll circle the wagons here. We'll take off the squares here. We'll go to Kelly, your final word here for the night.
Yeah, it's been another great show, folks. Weird things happening in Deer Lodge, but apparently that's normal. It's not really that weird to us. Napoleon Dynamite, I think we pursue the plan here come September or so. I think it'd be a blast to film, and I think it'd be fucking hilarious, even if, we're the only ones that giggle at it and enjoy it. But it's been a lot of different topics. And, yeah, the alien things is weird. I don't know what's going on in the world. I've kind of taken a step back from politics and all that bullshit because I think it just blows your mind up in a bad way. And I am still interested, though, in what's going on if I can just somehow get a lick of the truth. So that's my piece, and I'm sticking to it. Have a good night. I'm signing out. I don't even listen to you guys.
No, I agree. The Napoleon Dynamite thing's so fucking funny. So I went out that night, that particular night. I went out to get ideas about this film I'm going to present to like Ken Burns here in like a couple weeks or whatever. And I was looking for Redgate film ideas. Like I went there with a notebook. That was my intention of doing meth at the bar with that lady. No.
Did you just subtly name drop Ken Burns, the like most famous documentarian in the world?
Yeah, did I not tell that part of the
No,
podcast?
yeah, you kind of buried the lead on that one.
So I have a connection that knows Ken Burns, and we're presenting a 5 to 7 minute film on Redgate to present to him. He's speaking at a graduation at the School of Wharton, I guess. And there's a guy
The Wharton School of Business.
Yeah, the Wharton School of Business, and there's a guy that knows him, and I know him, and we're gonna put together a film to present to him in May. Is that kind of a big deal?
Yeah, it feels like maybe we could have spent less time on dead dogs and maybe more time on that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Ken Burns that everybody knows about. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, let's close the show with that. That's good. Thank you.
I was like, oh yeah, by the way, so Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be our next appearance.
Pat's like, no, next week me and Don are sitting down with, do you guys know who Jimmy Carter is? Anyways, Matt, your final statement.
Yeah, shit. Jeez.
All right, Matt, we'll go through your final statement.
All right. Great show, I guess. We talked about a lot. We got a lot coming up here in the future, I'm sure, for everyone, and I catch myself looking too far ahead sometimes, but we all gotta remember just to enjoy like today, because we'll never get today back. You can't look too far ahead. Get yourself like, oh my God, I'm so excited for this. Now let's enjoy it day by day. And this was fun talking about dead dogs.
Man, talking about today, Matt, especially for those dogs who clearly were super old and died of natural causes. They'll never get today back. So I agree with that.
Exactly.
So Mahomes, your final, was it Mahomes' final statement? Who's final?
Yeah, I mean, it's because you bring us on home. My final statement, I'm really excited for Superstar. I think that's going to be I think you guys probably did a pretty good job because I know you and you always do a really good job. And the one thing I will say, we talked about a lot of stuff. The one thing I definitely wanted to touch on with my final statement today is, so I'm wearing a lot of Falcon stuff today because they're apparently changing the overtime rule. And it was, how it wasn't a big deal when a team in the Super Bowl didn't get a chance to possess the ball. But then after Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes had a great playoff game, so now it's a big fucking deal? Whatever. So the team that was playing Tom Brady didn't have a chance because, it's Tom Brady. I mean, who cares, we had the Offensive Player of the Year and MVP as our fucking quarterback. Maybe we deserve a chance. But no, it was cool because these guys were throwing sidearm. Anyway, fuck that. Fuck that rule.
That was foul play, Mahoney. Foul play.
Yeah, foul play. I'll end on that and say I'm with Mike Tomlin. It's like if you can't get it done within the first 60 minutes, then whatever. But
Mahoney, get her done.
Says the guy who has 78 Super Bowls and never had to I just say, if you would have lost your fucking mind if your team didn't have a chance to possess the ball in the Super Bowl. Let's not act like you'd be like, well, we didn't get it done, and you're like, fuck that. Of course you would say.
Okay, language, Mahoney, language, please.
Sorry, I'm passionate about this subject.
So next week's guest we're gonna have on is Ken Burns. He's gonna talk about Redgate.
If it's Ken Kimberly in a wig, I swear to God.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So end the show with Steven Spielberg's gonna sign on a movie. Just want to end with that, and we'll get on to the next show. Anyways, great show tonight, guys, and a lot of fun. And next week we're actually gonna do a full-on fucking thing of the Jesus Christ Superstar 2020 because it's a big, long fucking story. It's fucking nuts. And
it's awesome.
Christ, Easter weekend, Jesus Christ Superstar 2020 premieres at the Rialto Theater for the two viewers that are watching. And that is good night, everybody. Good night for the Prison City Podcast. Yeah, baby.
Thanks for watching, Drew.
Thanks, Drew. Love you.